Can we turn hate into understanding?
How can you hate me when you don't even know me? And for 48 years, I've been looking for that answer.
Earlier in the show, we gave you a preview of Morgan Freeman's latest study on humanity in The Story of Us, which has the Oscar winner traveling the globe to find our differences and similarities. Our senior correspondent, Arthur Kade, also spoke with the star about his take on the issues that have celebrities and athletes speaking out right here in our own country.
I don't think this country has ever had this experience before. So it's sort of like we're all running around bumping into each other trying to figure out what the heck is going on. You know what I'm saying?
Arthur also recently caught up with some of the biggest names in sports at the Buenaconti Great Sports Legends Dinner to find out how they feel about athletes using their status to bring light to social issues. It's today's Hollywood Insider.
President Trump spent the weekend attacking athletes for peacefully protesting police brutality.
He's going for cheap applause lines at campaign-style rallies that strike a really tough nerve, I think, for African Americans.
If Donald Trump's greatest concern is the disrespecting of the American flag, you know what should really piss him off? The Confederate flag.
Right now, the NFL, we had a big weekend this weekend. There's a lot of activism going on in sports. What do you think about athletes and activism? Should athletes be in the role where they should be activists?
Human rights, man. Human rights are human rights. And the protest that they got going on is very peaceful, very respectful. But at the same time, they just want things to go back to normal.
Look, I think that it's very clear the social injustices that have happened throughout the entirety of our country. Does that mean these guys, when they kneel, are disrespecting the flag? No, I think it means that they're honoring it. I commend anybody who wants to peacefully protest for any cause that they believe to be true. What these guys are doing is unifying this country. The irony in what our president has been doing is that the divisiveness is actually bringing a lot of us together.
I commend the ownership for lifting their players up and standing with their players. I commend them. But what is extremely disheartening is the senseless, divisive rhetoric of our leadership. When I think about why we put them in office. We put them in the office to unite our country, and I'm not seeing that right now.
Well, I grew up in the 1960s when it was fairly common for athletes in times that in some respects were more difficult than these. And so I'm glad to see modern athletes finding their voices, and I hope that they speak out in more sophisticated and fulsome ways. Gestures are fine, but a grasp of the issues and an ongoing real conversation that has substance matters too.